The 3rd of February, Rabbi Furst, Mishna Berura. Okay.
Yeah, very good. Okay.
So I
Right.
finished.
Hashem, again, we're in
I think we finished Kuf Samach Vav. It only has one sif. Rabbi, you're muted. Rabbi, you're muted. I don't know if you're talking, but I can't hear you.
okay, that's good to know. I didn't know I was muted. Thank you for telling me. Okay. So again, we're in Kuf Samech Vav. I want to just review the Mishnah Berurah and Sifkat and Daled because that's going to tell us again, we were discussing the ideal nature of the reasons why you should not delay from the time that you wash your hands until the time you make a motzi. So you have different opinions, and therefore, ideally, litkatkila, a person should try and reduce the time of waiting between washing his hands until he makes a motzi as much as possible. But in certain situations, it's almost impossible to be within the 22 amma time limit, which is basically sometime between 11 and say 18 seconds, depending how fast you walk. Um, for example, let's say a person is going to be at a wedding, and the wash station for a motzi is very far away, or at the other side of the um, place where they have the wash station for the simcha hall, and it's going to take you a good say 30 seconds to get to your seat, even maybe more, even maybe more. Or let's say you're at some type of a official meal or a family gathering, and Sudas Mitzvah, Sudas Pidyon Ben, and there'll be a lot of people washing, and everyone's going to have to wait for someone, maybe even you, to make the hamotzi for everyone, to mimotz everyone, especially like Friday night in the family setting or Shabbos meals, for example, Yom Tov meals. So then, how and what are you supposed to do to try and maintain your desire to do the mitzvah litkatchila? So if you look at Sifkat and Dalet again in the Mishnah Brewer, you have it there, Sifkat and Dalim Shah, right? Take a look, you read that there if you like, man.
Im Shaha Kule. Uh, so let's see. If there is a delay, etc. Hayinu Misha'a shenigev yadav al birkas hamotzi. Let's see. At the time, from the time that you dry your hand, he dries his hand until the blessing of motzi. So that's
Right. So here we
the time frame.
go ahead.
That needs to be within the 18 seconds.
Right. So that's the beginning of the delay period. So again, the beginning of the delay period begins from the time you dry your hands, okay? Very, very important, right? So that's going to be an opportunity to avoid coming into this difficulty, because if you simply do not dry your hands, or uh, don't dry your hands entirely, right? So therefore your time period of delay doesn't begin until the actual hands are dry, right? So what was advised, Steinberg Zechron advised us based on this Mishna Berura, that you can, for example, if you're at a wedding hall for a celebration of a wedding and you're washing your hands and you have a good long, say, even let's say a good minute's walk to your table, so you make your hamotzi. So one option is, and many places do this. Many places do put some bread out by the wash station. I don't know if you've ever seen that. I've seen it a few times. They put actually bread out by the wash station, and you stop and you make hamotzi right there at the wash station. Not so you should really be sitting down when you make hamotzi, but you can work that out, whatever. But if that's not the option that you have, and you have to walk to your place, which is say a minute, 2 minutes away, walk till you finally get to your table at the wedding hall. So you can wash your hands regularly. And number one, you have an option of making your bracha and drying your hands, but not completely. Keep your hands somewhat moist. And then when you finally get to your table, then you can just take a napkin and dry your hands completely. And then your time period of delay begins at that point. And then since you're already sitting down at your table, you're also okay. That's one option, meaning do like you normally do at a wash station. You wash your hands properly, you make the bracha properly, dry your hands, but not completely. Do not dry your hands completely. Keep them somewhat moist. And then when you finally get to your chair, then you can dry them completely, and therefore the time period begins then. Another option is not even to make the bracha hamotzi. Don't just wash your hands, right? There's nothing wrong with washing your hands, walking to your table, right? And while you're still standing up, make the bracha al natilas yadayim, take your napkin or whatever you have there, and dry your hands, sit down, and then make your hamotzi, right? So that's what you can do. That's what you can do to avoid the delay, right? Um,
So when you say that, once you say can you say the bracha while your hands are still wet?
we always say the bracha while our hands is still wet. It's one of the unusual times when you usually make the mitzvah. You do the mitzvah before you make the bracha. Usually all mitzvahs you make the bracha first and then you do the mitzvah. Whenever you light ner Hanukkah, you make the bracha ladnik ner shulchan you light. You make a bracha lishma kol shofar, you blow the shofar. There are very few mitzvahs that you do first and then make the bracha, right?
Right.
But the bracha of al natilas yadayim, usually you wash your hands first and then you make your bracha, right? But and the drying comes after the bracha. So first you wash your hands, make the bracha, and then dry your hands, right? And here is our Mishna Berura is telling us that the delay period doesn't begin until you actually have dried your hands, right?
Right.
So therefore, you have the option of not to dry your hands completely or at all, and then your delay period doesn't begin until you actually have dried your hands.
Okay, that makes sense.
Right. I'll just, yeah,
Today, Hiluk, uh, Kafbet Amma, the time that it takes to walk 22 amos.
right,
That's what we said was 11 to 18 seconds.
right. An am is about an am is about it's less than it's about a yard. So we're talking about 20, say about 20 yards. 20 yards is about 60 feet. 60 feet. So that's not too long at all. 60 feet's not very long at all.
Right. Shiur ze nikra hefsek afilu biyoshev bimikomo, that this measure is called an interruption, even if you're sitting in a place, even if he's sitting in his place.
Right.
Ve'im holech mi beso lebeis acher. Yesh shemachmirin afilu baha licha mu'etes. If he walks from his house to another house, there is to be strict, even with something that's short. With this baha licha.
In his walking.
If to be strict, even if his walking is short. Oh, in other words, if he's going from house to house, even if the houses are very close, he should be strict.
Right.
But what does that mean? What's he being strict about? The time?
Yeah, he should be strict not to make a not. He should be strict not to make that delay. It's more serious. It's more serious if you're walking from one house to another because again, the whole halacha that we're dealing with is based on what we call hesek hadas. You're taking your concentration off of keeping your hands in a situation where they remain pure, clean, and not defiled by various different things which you would touch, which would cause them to become dirty or defiled. And if you're walking from one house to another, it's more risky that you're going to take your mind off of your hands because you'll be busy with walking out of one house going into the next house. So it's too risky if you're going from one place to the next.
Right. Umashma me acharonim divshalo letzorech ein lish hos klal be nataim. And we derive from the sages that one is not required not to I don't know what leash host is.
We're supposed to be concerned, but
Be concerned at all Uh, about the time? Ben
Right.
time is it about the time?
That I'm sorry, which word are you wondering about?
Ben time.
Being a time between the two, right? Ain, right? Umash mi'achronin debelot surah without any need to wait. Ain lashas. You shouldn't be waiting at all between the two of them. Hela yivur kamotzi miyad. You should make kamotzi immediately after you dry your hair.
After drying the hands. Mikre hahefsek. It's called an interruption. Below mikre techef, and it's not called immediate. Ve'im kain, and if so, lefi ma she pasak. Hamechaber ditov li zaher lis kof netila lis uda. Because the interruption uh, hamechaber hamechaber, is that the author?
Right. That's the author of the Shulchan Aruch. He's referred to as the Mechaber.
Okay, so because the interruption, I guess according to the Mechaber, the Tov, the Zahir, that it's good to be concerned, Lis Chof, Lis Chof is a hand,
No, let's go to make it immediate. To make it immediate.
to make it immediate washing for the meal. I'm not following
Right.
the sentence.
The washing must be immediately to the usage to the eating of the meal.
Okay.
It-
Yesh
so yeah, go ahead.
yesh l'saher gam mi lishhos beinatayim shiur kazeh. There is to be concerned also milishos, I don't know. Rabbi, what's milishos?
That that's the from waiting, right? That the yesh lizar gam shois to delay. There is also to be careful, Lizar. You also should be careful also from waiting, delaying the name Shir Kazet to don't
This time
don't let
period.
this time pass. Yeah, don't let this time period pass.
Vida ikar din techifa ha muzkar b'siman zeh hu rak mitzvah lechatchila. Uh, and the essence of the law uh, of immediacy What is Hamuzkar?
That is mentioned.
That is mentioned uh, in this section. It is only a mitzvah in the ideal sense. Aval b'di'evid afilu sheha harbe o hefsek beinatayim ein tzarich lechazor v'litol yadav, or an interruption between them is not required to go back and wash again and wash his hands. Kol shelo hisiach dato beinatayim miras yadav. And anyone that does not, what's hisiach?
He's distracted.
Anyone who is not distracted in his concentration between them from guarding his hands.
Okay, so that we see it's person should be careful, but even if he wasn't careful, he's not required to go back and make a new bracha. Okay,
And
very good.
I guess it's saying if you can't avoid the delay, at least you can concentrate on guarding your hands.
Yeah, I mean, if you have no choice, that's you're gonna have to do that anyway. Because if you realize that you weren't careful about what you did with your hands, um, so you'll need to at least wash again, right? Wash over again. That that even in a case, that's what the Mishna refers. Even in a case that in a case that if there was a delay, he doesn't have to rewash his hands. But if there was a delay and he was Messiah Daito, he took his mind off of what he was doing, so then he's going to have to go back and wash, but without a bra, no new bra.
Right, right.
Okay,
Got
very
it.
good. Thank you. Mir Hashem, we'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, Rabbi, thank you so much. Did I mention to you that I'm going on a trip?
Yeah, I think you said you're going to be going to Los Angeles. You have a wedding or something like that there?
Bar mitzvah.
Bar mitzvah. Okay, very good.
So tomorrow I'll be here. Well, that'll be my last day until the 21st of February.
Okay, very good. And fine. If you see Milton Simon, please give my regards to him, please.
In Mitz Hashem, I will. I will do that. I am planning on seeing him, hopefully.
Okay,
Okay,
Yirtzeh Hashem.
have a
Great.
good day.
Okay, have a good day. We'll see you tomorrow. Shalom.